Think of it like this. You, your dad, and his dad. Keep going back in time. You'll quickly pass people in powdered wigs, then knights in shining armor, and even huge woolly mammoths. Eventually, you'll see a very old man sitting on the ground, eating a bug, just trying to stay alive until the sun goes down. That's your ancestor. He didn't have a name, he didn't have shoes, and he had no idea that you, someone who loves snacks and needs coffee to wake up, would ever exist. But here's what's important. If that one person or any of the thousands of people who came before you had tripped at the wrong moment, or gotten killed by something with big teeth, or just didn't have kids, if any of that happened, you wouldn't be here. You're here because thousands of people before you somehow didn't die when they easily could have. You're not just lucky, you're the result of many dangerous things happening and life finding a way anyway. So let's see just how close you came, many times over, to never being born at all. Let's jump right in. Number 5, the Ice Age. About 20,000 years ago, our planet was a very cold and harsh place. Huge sheets of ice, 2 miles thick, covered big parts of North America, Europe, and Asia. The world got about 10 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 6 degrees Celsius colder, turning most of it into a frozen desert where finding food was super hard. Me hungry. If you lived then, your day was all about not freezing to death, hunting giant woolly mammoths as big as school buses, and sometimes running from scary animals like the cave lion, which was one of the biggest wildcats ever. Your home was probably a hut made of mammoth bones, or a cave you shared with like 40 relatives you might not even like. Your clothes were animal skins sewn with bone needles. Want dinner? Good luck. You had a pointy stick, and your meal weighed 6 tons and wanted to kill you. And if you didn't starve, a simple cut could kill you because it would get infected. There were no medicines, no shots, and no hospitals. Just trying out random plants and hoping you'd get better. But even with all these dangers, early humans learned to adapt. They made tools, learned to control fire, and even made amazing art like the famous cave paintings at Lascaux. Next up, number 4. The start of farming. About 10,000 years ago, people had a big idea. Imagine someone saying, "My legs hurt. I can't chase another mammoth." And another replies, "You don't even have legs. Come on, breakfast is only 400 miles away." Then someone else says, "Listen, what if we make food come to us? We stay in one spot, grow things, build stuff." And that's how farming began. It also happens to be when humans accidentally made life much tougher. Instead of always moving and hunting, early farmers settled down in villages. They grew crops like wheat, barley, and lentils. Sounds smart, right? It was, but it brought a whole lot of new problems. Living so close together meant sicknesses could spread super fast. Your food was actually worse, with less protein and missing important vitamins. Plus, your teeth basically fell out. And don't even think about what happened if the crops failed. One dry spell, one bug attack, one big flood, and your whole village would starve to death, staring angrily at the sky. Scientists have even found old skeletons that show people back then were often poorly fed, didn't have enough iron, and had terrible teeth. Coming in at number 3, the Mongol invasions. If you were alive in the 1200s and saw a dust cloud in the distance, you had about 3 minutes to be scared before your town was completely destroyed. Led by Genghis Khan, a ruler who didn't believe in being kind, the Mongols built the biggest land empire ever. It went all the way from China to Eastern Europe. Their plan was simple: arrive quickly, attack powerfully, and leave nothing behind. Whole cities were wiped out. Everyone was killed, and if anyone survived, they were sometimes used as human shields for the next fight. Mongol horse archers could shoot you from 300 yards away while riding fast on their horses. They basically created a type of mobile warfare hundreds of years before tanks existed. Experts believe the Mongol invasions killed about 10% of everyone alive at that time, even though the world's population was already quite small. Next up, number 2, the Black Death. In 1347, Europe got a terrible surprise from Central Asia, brought over by some very busy fleas. Things quickly went wrong. The Black Death, also known as the bubonic plague, spread through towns and cities like a fast-moving fire. It was caused by a germ and traveled on rats, fleas, and people who didn't know anything about staying clean. Once it arrived, surviving was just luck. You could catch it from a handshake, sharing a cup, or just breathing the same air as someone who was sick. Symptoms included huge swollen bumps, fever, throwing up blood, and spoiler alert, death, usually in just a few days. It's thought that between 30% to 60% of everyone in Europe died in only a few years. Whole villages were left empty, businesses failed, and doctors wore strange bird masks filled with flowers because they thought it would help with the plague. And finally, number one, the Toba supervolcano eruption. About 74,000 years ago, the Toba supervolcano exploded and almost wiped out all humans. When Toba blew up, it shot out enough ash and rock to cover the entire United States. This caused a volcanic winter that was so bad, sunlight was blocked out for about 6 to 10 years. Global temperatures dropped by as much as 27 degrees Fahrenheit or 15 degrees Celsius. Plants died, animals starved, and nature all over the world fell apart. For early humans, who were already trying hard just to find enough food to live each day, it was a disaster. Food disappeared, whole areas turned into frozen deserts, rivers froze, forests became places where things died. It's believed that the total number of humans dropped to fewer than 3,000 people. This was such a small group that every person alive today probably came from those few survivors. No crops, no animals, no sunlight, no second chances. Imagine living your whole life in darkness, freezing, starving, always afraid that today might be the last day anyone ever sees the sun. And yet somehow, against all odds, a few tough, desperate humans managed to survive. You are here because they didn't give up when everything else did. Remember, you are the miracle your ancestors fought their lives for. So, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell before natural selection does its thing. Thanks for watching the History Vault, and see you in the next video.